Gigantamax Inteleon and a bunch of cool shiny Pokemon are coming during the Phantom Ruins event. Here's everything you need to know and the best tips to make this event way better. Okay, join the celebration. Paris Go Fest going down this weekend, but there's a global event, the Phantom Ruins event, June 14th, 10 a.m. to June 18th, 8 p.m. your local time. We'll have the bonuses of 2x catch XP, certain Pokemon attracted to incense more frequently, shiny boost on shiny Gothita and shiny Phantom, most likely 1 in 64, max particle collection limit of 1600, and power spots will drop 800 max particle. The spawns in the WoW will be Rhyhorn, Duskull, Skorupi, Drillbur, Archon, Gothita, Golett, Phantom, and rare spawns for Sableye and Chimecho. The instant spawns will be Sableye, Chimecho, Gothita, Rufflet, Phantom, and Greavard. The event exclusive field research task for Gothita, Rufflet, Phantom, and Greavard. A $2 paid time research you can buy in the in-game shop or in the web store through the Phantom Ruins Ultra Ticket Box. Buy it through the web store and you'll get 5 additional Ultra Balls for free. This paid time research will be focused on exploration and catching Pokemon, and once you do buy it, you will unlock the bonus of 2x catch Stardust until the end of the event. This research will get you 5 instances, encounters with Gothita, and encounters with Phantom. There'll be event exclusive collection challenges during the event, and the 5-star raids during the event will be Kyogre. The mega raids will then be Mega Manectric. As far as max battles during the event, until June 15th, you will have Dynamax Machop in the max battles, switching into Dynamax Hatena. Also on top of that, Gigantamax Inteleon will be in max battles during the weekend, June 14th, 6 a.m. to June 15th, 9 p.m. your local time. If you are in Paris, these battles are already going down as well because they actually do start 2 days earlier on Thursday. So you might have remote raided into some already. Nonetheless, what are the best spawns to focus on during the event? We have Rhyhorn, which evolves into Rhyperior. Rhyperior with the moveset of Smackdown and Rock Wrecker is the number 9 rock type attacker in Pokemon Go, and with Mud Slap and Earthquake, the number 14 ground type raid attacker, and it is even better as a shadow form, so you can go ahead and get candies for that. It's also ranked number 25 in the Master League, Shadow ranked 21. Duskull is also spawning in the wild, which is middle stage. Dusclops is ranked number 4 in the Great League, and Dusknoir ranked 31 in the Great League. Dusknoir is also ranked number 6 in the Ultra League. Skorupi spawning in the wild, which evolves into Drapion. Drapion ranked 107 in the Great League and 70 in the Shadow form. In the Ultra League, ranked 34 and 45 in the Shadow. Drillbur is spawning in the wild as well, evolving into Excadrill. Excadrill with the moveset of Mud Slap and Scorching Sands, the number 16 ground type attacker in Pokemon Go, the Shadow variant number 6. And with Metal Claw and Iron Head, the number 16 steel type attacker in Pokemon Go, and number 8 with the Shadow form. Excadrill also does have a Dynamax variant in Pokemon Go, which is a really good attacker to grind candies for that Pokemon. Gold is also spawning in the wild, evolving into Golurk. Golurk is ranked 76 in the Great League, 33 in the Shadow form, and ranked 97 in the Ultra League, 55 in the Shadow form. Phantom is spawning in the wild, which evolves into Trevenant. Trevenant is ranked 104 in the Ultra League. Phantom is also a free trade of evolution, so if you go ahead and receive one of those from trades, it is completely free to evolve it into Trevenant, which is a free 1000 XP. Sableye is spawning in the wild, which gets you 750 Stardust per catch, so definitely worth grabbing. It is also my favorite Pokemon, so just catch it because it's my favorite. And also it is ranked 49 in the Great League, ranked 17 in the Shadow form. Chimecho is also spawning in the wild, which does get you 1000 catch Stardust, so catch those for free Stardust. Okay, that's the wild spawns. What about the raid bosses? Which ones are we focusing on? Kyogre. Kyogre, the OG water type attacker in Pokemon Go, which is number 6 as a water type with Waterfall and Origin Pulse. You can also Primal Revert this into Primal Kyogre, being the number 1 water type attacker. Kyogre is ranked 69 in the Master League as well, and it is a functional Hundo Pokemon, which means a 15-15-14 IV is the same as a 15-15-15. Mega Manectric is also in the Mega Raids, which is a top electric type attacker, being ranked number 5 as an electric type attacker. As far as Dynamax battles, the ones we should focus on is first Dynamax Machop. You can evolve that into Dynamax Machamp, which is not a bad fighting type Dynamax attacker, or just use it to grind candies for the recently released Gigantamax Machamp, which is obviously the number 1 fighting type attacker in Pokemon Go. Dynamax Hatena is then switched into, which Dynamax Hatena evolves into Dynamax Hatterene, which will be our first fairy type Dynamax Pokemon in Pokemon Go, so definitely worth battling. Because it's a psychic fairy as well, it both double resist dragon and fighting type. And Hatterene does have a Gigantamax variant in Pokemon Go, so you can go ahead and grind candies and XL candies for that Pokemon. So go ahead and grind it, but maybe hold on to the candies, don't power it up. However, I will say Hatterene is the number 8 fairy type attacker in Pokemon Go with Charm and Dazzling Gleam already. And that moves us into the big man, Gigantamax Inteleon, which you might have already battled yourself. And it's a good thing if you battle it because Gigantamax Inteleon is now the number 1 water type GMAX Pokemon in Pokemon Go, even outclassing Gigantamax Kingler. The only time it'll get outclassed is in the future with the Rapid Strike Gigantamax Urshifu. Also, if Sobble does get a community day, you can get Hydro Cannon on Inteleon in the future, which will make Inteleon the number 10 water type attacker in Pokemon Go. This Pokemon is a glass cannon Pokemon, but does have a high DPS. Overall, GMAX Inteleon is a must-have Pokemon because it's the best water type GMAX Pokemon currently. It'll also be very, very useful against Gigantamax Colossal, which is 4 times weak to water. So how do we take it down? Well, Inteleon is a pure water type Pokemon, making it weak to grass and electric with 100% IV of 1693. For Charge Boost Inteleon can learn, you have Surf, Water Pulse, and Shadow Ball. When you're battling a Gigantamax Inteleon, it has two types of moves. Its large attack, which will be a spread move and will hit everybody, nobody can dodge it, and its targeted attack, which will focus on one Pokemon at a time. You can dodge this move. Your Pokemon will have a spider sense above it if you're being targeted, and that's when you dodge. There's actually 4 different levels of dodge timing, and the better you're dodging, the less damage you take. By the way, if you have a shield up, you will be targeted more often by this targeted attack. The ideal moveset on the large attack you want Inteleon to have is either Surf or Water Pulse. These are its weakest moves, especially if you have a water type or a grass type out. Shadow Ball, though, will be an issue. Shadow Ball hits really hard. If Inteleon does have a Shadow Ball and you have a small lobby, consider backing out, as that will change Inteleon's moves, making it potentially easier to take it down. Now, the best strategy to take on a GMAX Pokemon is have 2 tank Pokemon in the front and an attacker in the back. Your tank Pokemon will resist a lot of Inteleon's moves while you build up the max meter. Once you Dynamax or Gigantamax, switch into your attacker, use 3 max moves, and then switch back into your Dynamax Pokemon and do this again and again. You can even have one person on the team which just has 3 tank Pokemon, and it continuously uses max spirit to heal everybody and make sure everybody is healthy. As far as the best attackers to use versus GMAX Inteleon, number 1 will be Gigantamax Rillaboom with Scratch or Razor Leaf, Dynamax Toxtricity with Spark, Gigantamax Venusaur with Vine Whip, Dynamax Zapdos with Thunder Shock, or Dynamax Raikou with Thunder Shock. The best tank Pokemon versus Gigantamax Inteleon will be Dynamax Blissey with Pound, Gigantamax Snorlax with Lick, GMAX Lapras with Psywave, Crown Shield Zamazenta with Metal Claw. This Pokemon will only be available, of course, if you've gone to one of the in-person events. Cool thing about Zamazenta as well is it does come with 1 free shield if you have Max Guard unlocked, which is amazing as a tank Pokemon, which means you're already set up with a shield. Finally, number 5 will be Dynamax Greedent with Tackle. Again, 2 tank Pokemon in the front, 1 attacker in the back. Best team overall would be 2 Blissies and 1 Gigantamax Rillaboom in the back. By the way, if it does have Shadow Ball, it actually is not that big a deal if you do have the Blissies or the Snorlaxes or the Greedents, because you do double resist Ghost. Okay, there's a lot of great Pokemon spawning and in raids during this event, so how do we grind candies for them so we can power them up? Because if we don't have candies, we can't even use them. Well, first of all, use Pineaps or Silver Pineaps on any of the wild spawns or raids during this event. Regular Pineap berries will multiply your catch gain by 2 and Silvers by 2.34. Also, be sure to Mega Evolve a Pokemon. Depending on the level of the Mega, you'll get more Candy, XP, and XL Candy for catching Pokemon of a certain type, specifically Pokemon that are the same type as that Mega. Pokemon types spawning during the event are Ground, Rock, Ghost, Bug, Poison, Flying, Psychic, Grass, Dark, and Normal type spawns. So use any Mega that has those types. Specifically, my recommendations will be Mega Gengar, which will give you more catch candies for Duskull, Skorupi, Golett, Phantom, Sableye, and Greavard, or Mega Rayquaza, giving you more catch candy for Archon, Gothita, or Chimecho. I'd go with the Mega Gengar if I were you. Trading away a Pokemon is also a great way to get candies. Every time you trade away a Pokemon, you'll get 1 free candy. But if the distance between those Pokemon is more than 100 kilometers where they were caught, you will get 3 regular candies and a guaranteed XL candy. So if you go ahead and catch 100 Rhyhorns, your friend from Paris catches, I don't know, 100 Rhyhorns, you guys mirror trade those, that's 100 free Rhyhorn XL candies. Don't sleep on this, especially for any friends who travel a lot or if you have friends that are leaving the city often. Also, remember to station Pokemon at power spots. If you station a Pokemon at a power spot after you defeat a max battle, that Pokemon can stay there, giving an attack multiplier to future people who attack it, but also you can get up to 5 candies for that Pokemon by defending. This is really handy for Gigantamax Pokemon, legendary Pokemon, or just rare Dynamax Pokemon that you want to grind candies passively for. Now you need 35 Platinum Medals, go from level 48 to 49 Pokemon Go. Which one should we work on during this event? Of course, starting off with all the type medals here, I don't know, the Hex Maniac medal, you can go ahead and catch the Duskulls during this event. Any of these type medals you never completed, catch those types of Pokemon in the wild. They do give a catch boost multiplier, making it easier to catch bug types, for example, as you can see at the bottom. If you're going to raid during the event, make sure you raid, Mega Manectric and Kyogre at least once, or whatever other raid bosses there are, because that will get you a point for the Rising Star medal. Every different species you raid is 1 point towards this medal. Same thing goes if you end up raiding, you'll work on your Champion medal and your Battle Legend medal if you do legendary raids. And we do have exclusive showcases during events, so your Showcase Star medal, win 100 Pokestop showcases you can work on that PhD Pikachu. Dude, honestly, I was in New York last week. I tried to win showcases, but it's so hard to win them in the cities. So remember, always drop in showcases outside the cities if you can. There'll be less people battling there, higher odds of winning. You can also snipe the showcases right before it ends, switch out your Pokemon for a better one, and potentially win. Now remember to download all assets in the advanced section of your settings. I do this every week. It'll download all the game assets to your phone, so the game will pull the assets off your phone, not the internet. Also remember to activate native refresh rate while you're in there, so you can use your phone's native refresh rate. Do note it uses more battery. Now, if you're going to be grinding wild spawns during your event, remember to activate Spatial Rend, boosting your spawn distance from 40 to 80 meters. The more spawns you can see, the more you can catch, the more candies you can get, the better experience you'll have. This is number one for grinders. However, if you're going to be raiding or doing Gigantamax battles, especially for Inteleon, activate Ice Burn Adventure Effect. This will slow down the catch ring, making it easier to land an excellent throw, and it'll also give you a 1.5 times catch multiplier. This is huge for Kyogre raid hour if you're going to be playing it, or Gigantamax battles, because it just makes catching legendary easier. You can catch it, move on to the next one, and that means you can do more battles. Now remember, we do have some special events going on during this event, starting with Dynamax Hatena Max Monday, June 16th, 6 to 7 p.m. Dynamax Hatena will be at every power spot, so if you want to take that on, play that event. Solosis Spotlight Hour will then be June 17th, 6 to 7 p.m. with the bonus of 2 times transfer candy. Yes, the best event of the year to clear out all your rare Pokemon and free up some space before Global Go Fest. I highly recommend you go into your Pokemon storage, make a tag, and tag all the Pokemon you want to transfer. So when June 17th, 6 p.m. hits, you can tag all those Pokemon and go ahead and just transfer them out instantly with a select all and get a bunch of extra candies. Also, it is Kyogre Raid Hour, June 18th, 6 to 7 p.m. Now, why do you want to play these mini events? Well, that's because community ambassador meetups. If you go on Campfire, you sort by meetups and you find the ones hosted by a community ambassador with the rewards tab, and you go to these events, you can get a free timed research that will get you free rewards you don't want to sleep on. Go to the Max Monday meetup for Dynamax Hatena and you'll get 800 free max particles. Spotlight Hour on June 17th, you'll get a free super incubator. Raid Hour on June 18th, you'll get a free premium raid pass. And if you go to any GMAX Inteleon meetup that is hosted by a community ambassador, you'll get 800 free max particles. That is one additional Gigantamax Inteleon max battle. So definitely don't sleep on those meetups. Speaking of Gigantamax Inteleon, there is a way you can go ahead and claim your max particles to get more GMAX Inteleon battles this weekend. Starting off, I would go ahead and try to save 1700 max particles prior to this event so you can bring them into Saturday and use them on Saturday. To do this, go ahead and collect 800 max particles from a power spot, then claim 600 max particles from walking 2 kilometers 2 times, and then claim from another power spot. This will give you 2,200 max particles collected in one day. You can then go ahead and bring those max particles in to Saturday, go ahead and use them on Inteleon max battles, claim more max particles since you haven't claimed any that day, then do that again on Sunday. Remember, your max particle collection limit is 1,500. So as long as you get as close to 1,500 max particles without going over and then claiming 800 max particles from a power spot, it is a soft cap, so you can go way over. Also, Gigantamax battles is the best way to get XP and Stardust in Pokemon Go. Complete a GMAX battle, you'll get 25,000 XP, 25,000 Stardust. You can go ahead and activate this with a Lucky Egg and a Star Piece, and then you can go ahead and spend 200 Pokecoins if you got money to double these rewards even more. So the best way to do this and take advantage of this is to use party play. When you party with your friends, if you guys all use Lucky Eggs and Star Pieces, instead of 30 minutes for yourself, everybody's gonna get 15 minutes, which means you get double value out of your Lucky Eggs and Star Pieces. Everybody using 4 Lucky Eggs and 4 Star Pieces in a party, everyone's gonna get 4 hours of Lucky Egg and Star Piece, which you can then use while you're taking down GMAX Inteleon battles and get a bunch of rewards. If you enjoyed this video, watch the other 2 videos on screen, guys. I am in Paris right now, so stay tuned on my Instagram for details about a potential meetup, and stay tuned for plenty of fun videos about Paris Go Fest. We'll catch you all in the next one. Follow for tips. Peace.